What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to today's episode of Solutions. Firstly, I pray that you're having a blessed day. If not, I declare and decree a blessed week over your life. With that said, today we'll be discussing some of the key things that I've seen keep entrepreneurs from reaching their true potential, both myself and those that I've seen secondhand. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. If y'all feel as though I didn't go into this topic enough, drop that down below. If y'all have topics that y'all want us to cover in upcoming videos, make sure y'all drop those down below as well, and enjoy the video.
All right, Cameron, first question. What key factors for success have you identified for aspiring entrepreneurs?
I say first thing, make sure you focus on ownership from a young perspective. A lot of people will tell you enjoy your youth. That advice is really for only people that intend to live normal lives, which is perfectly fine. But if you're watching this video, chances are you aren't trying to live a normal life. You're trying to walk in your God-given purpose. You're trying to just put in work for whatever it is that your goals are. Next thing I say, select the niche and network as soon as possible and really as effectively as possible. As I've shared in previous videos, maybe you need to go to Marshall's, maybe you need to go to Foreman Mills and just get some decent dress clothes. If y'all don't like Foreman Mills, maybe Ross's, TJ Maxx's. Those are places that you can get decent, affordable clothes that will make you presentable in a fashion where someone of the caliber that you're looking to network with will acknowledge you in conversation. And you just gotta be hungry. You showing up with a pen or pencil and a notebook and on time and dressed properly, that's putting you ahead of, I say, the majority of people. I'm not gonna use percentages, majority of people. After you've selected a niche and you started to build your network, you really wanna start to learn the finances behind the business model that it is that you're looking to scale. And that's including business credit, cash flow, taxes, etc. A lot of people see the statistics. Over 90% of startups fail. That's because of a lack of preparation. That's also why it encourages you, if you're going to spend money to start up a business, you really should consider going into acquisitions, buying something that's already up and running, unless you're just looking to build your brand and scale it, or you in a low barrier to entry type of model like content creation. So cash flow is going to be very important. You need to know how capital intensive your business model is, because you don't want to go into, let's say Airbnb arbitrage and you hadn't accounted for your furnishings, the rent, taxes, which is really an end of the year type of thing, but it's something that you plan for over time. Scaling, profitability, and definitely the competition in the space that you're in, because Airbnb downtown Chicago is going to have a lot of competition and it's really going to seem copy and paste to the consumer. So you have to have some sort of value proposition that makes you stand out, which is why like vacation homes typically perform better than ones downtown, unless you have a niche location and some special aspect of your listing that makes you stand out amongst the rest. That's basically a commoditized business model. So you would have to have some sort of value proposition. And one thing that's very important that I'm about to get into is relationships. I already spoke about networking, but specifically building strong relationships. Like, you may be in an area where it's heavily commoditized, but you have a relationship with a community college, which they don't have a lot of housing for, but they do have athletic programs. So now you got athletes coming in and there's no affordable housing provided. You can come in, build a relationship with the basketball and football coaches, and now you got recurring clientele year over year. And that's just one community college. So that's an example of niching down for those of you all that are unfamiliar. And that's also an example of developing a strong relationship and how it can help you, I say, corner the market. I say work under someone or scale your own company if you have the resources that are necessary for you to be successful, and or you have some sort of unfair advantage like I just discussed that will give you a leg up in this space and basically take you out of that over 90% chance of failure rate. You want to focus on what the people that are successful do. Don't focus on the failure rate. In all honesty, from what I've seen, personal experience and secondhand, you absolutely need a mentor. especially if you like in your teens or early 20s going into a space that you have no idea about, you absolutely need a mentor. That will cut your time in at least half, to be honest. At that point, I'd say don't frown upon working for someone else, because to be honest, in business, relationships and experience reign supreme, whether you being hired or you going into a project. From what I've seen, regardless of the business model, if it's between you and another company, the company with the highest value proposition is the one that's most likely to win whatever the opportunity is. So say you and another Airbnb listing are up, you're closer to Wrigleyville, and they coming to see a Cubs game because they grew up in Chicago, and well, we gonna say a Sox game. We're not Cubs fans over here anyway. But say your listing is closer to the Sox stadium, and you have a connection with someone that does rentals. So now you can get them a discount on a rental car when they come in, and your listing has a covered parking space complimentary. Those are the types of things that'll really help you stand out in the space. Hello. What's going on, y'all? It's Cam from Solutions. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to all the black-owned businesses out there. Shout out to all the HBCUs out there. With that said, I hope y'all enjoy the video and that y'all have a blessed day.
What do you think about home ownership?
In all honesty, especially if you're younger, I really encourage you to buy a 2 to 4 unit. You probably heard this all over the internet multiple times or whatever. If you haven't, I really encourage you to train your algorithm to feed you more productive content if this is the type of space that you want to be in. If you're really up to it, I say use a 203K loan, which is really just a FHA loan product where you can go and you can buy something that needs work. If you go buy a 2 to 4, even if you buy a single family home, which I do not encourage for you to live in because it would ultimately be a liability, you buy a 2 to 4 unit property, you go in and you renovate it, you want to intentionally tell your realtor that you're looking for something where you can build equity, where you can come in, you get you somebody that does construction, find you a GC that either is recommended or somebody that's online that you trust, that comes in and is professional, is punctual. You come in and do work. You tell your realtor you want to find something where you would be sitting on at least $40,000 in the positive after your renovation. I don't know what that was, but anyway, now not only are your living expenses paid for by the tenants that you would be moving into the other units, but now you're building equity for yourself and for your family. And after a year, you'll be able to move out of your unit and rent that out as well. So that's what will set you up in conjunction with everything that you already have going on with your business. In all honesty, for you as a business person, for you as a producer, not a consumer, a forever home should really be like the last thing on your investment list. You should only do that after you've been truly established. A lot of people think, oh yeah, it's an investment and the whole 9 yards. You can go get a 2 to 4 unit. It's easier to qualify for a 2 to 4 unit because the building will be producing income. So focus on that, because you go buy a single family house, that property is not producing income. When the roof needs to be worked on, or the AC has a problem, or it's a leak, you up north like us, a pipe burst, that building is not producing any income. That's just money coming straight out of your pocket. Your mortgage isn't being offset by tenants. You don't have equity to pull out of the property, any of that. So focus on building your portfolio of assets first. And I say assets opposed to just saying a real estate portfolio, because you may go 100% into your business. You may go 100% into business acquisitions. You may go 100% into real estate investing. You may do all of the above, but what your portfolio is entirely up to you. Either way, you want to make sure that the decisions that you make financially are as asset oriented as possible. Please make sure that you educate your kids on property taxes. If you're gonna pass down a property, they need to understand that property taxes and water bills run regardless. You cannot pass on a property and they don't understand that, because that's how black people have lost houses over decades. Like, I'm saying houses paid off, family houses probably worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, from a community perspective that we just lose into the city. We already know the city crooked. We ain't even got to go into all of that. Don't pay into it. Don't get him a reason. Don't make it easy for him. Build wealth for your family. Be intentional. Be the difference. If you had a distraught relationship with your mother or father, be the difference in your child's life. Teach them about property taxes. Teach them that regardless of if somebody in the house or not, that water bill is going to run. I have to reiterate that. That water bill is going to build up whether someone's in the house or not. So you all won't be able to liquidate the property in the event that that outstanding water bill is acting as a lien against the property. You need to educate yourself, and you need to educate whoever it is that you intend to have as a beneficiary. Speaking of beneficiaries, you need to have a trust and a life insurance policy in place. You need to be knowledgeable about these things before you even get into them. Make sure that you're going and you setting up these policies with an attorney that you trust. Nowadays, a will is not enough, because you may have a will in place and you have, let's say you have a clear beneficiary, but the other child that you have or other nephew or niece that may have entitlement to it or feel as though they have entitlement to it, they may go get an attorney and challenge the document because it's not specific enough. Now it's brought up in the court of law. Now y'all are spending legal fees to go get a house that's worth maybe a few hundred thousand. So now you inherit the property. You didn't educate them on property taxes. You didn't educate them on the water bill. Now they got to clear a $20,000 water bill and the property taxes backed up, and somebody already bought the property. We have to start to be intentional as black people. We have to focus less on European liabilities. I'm talking about those of you all that's like, oh yeah, don't focus on who got the biggest Benz, who got the biggest house. Focus on who's creating a legacy for their family. Focus on the man that's being intentional and building his relationship with his son and his daughter, that's pouring into his people. Focus on the people that are focusing on creating their business, that are creating value in the community. Not the people that's out here rapping and doing stuff that's not really contributing to the betterment of your community, not really improving the hood that your people so desperately want to leave. With that said, knowledge is very important, but applied knowledge reigns supreme. You can know everything in the world, but if you don't apply it, it won't matter. So with that said, I strongly encourage you all to look into content and connect with professionals that are in the spaces that, like I said, an attorney, connect with an attorney and validate what I've said, and then learn how this applies to you and how you can leverage it for your family. Because in all honesty, equity, it's equity over equality all day. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. Like I said, if y'all have anything y'all want us to cover moving forward, or anything that I didn't cover in this video that's really applied to the same topic, make sure y'all drop that down below. I just hope you don't leave that in the video, because that was just tough.
Don't leave it. Don't leave it.
Anyway, shout out to y'all for watching the whole video through. Like I said, I pray that y'all have a blessed week.